If we keep using driverless cars, we won't save the planet. For years, self-driving car technology has remained tantalizingly just beyond the horizon. Bold predictions notwithstanding, fully automated vehicles still haven't appeared in showrooms. But the technology appears poised for a leap forward in 2022. Companies including Zero to Mercedes-Benz, Zero to BMW, Zero to and Zero to Honda, Zero to are bringing so-called Level 3 AVs to market that will let drivers take their hands off the wheel under specific conditions. And virtually every major auto manufacturer is testing self-driving systems. Automated vehicles hold tremendous promise. Cars that Zero to handle most or all of the driving tasks Zero to could be safer than human drivers, operate more efficiently, and open up new opportunities for seniors, people with disabilities and others who can't drive themselves. But while attention has understandably Zero to focused on safety, the potential environmental impacts of automated vehicles have largely taken a back seat. We study Zero to automated vehicle technologies, Zero to and Zero to how consumers are likely to use them. Into recent studies, our research teams found creative ways to assess the real-life impacts that automated vehicles could have on the environment. By analyzing drivers' use of partially automated vehicles and simulating the expected impact of future driverless vehicles, we found that both automated vehicle types will encourage a lot more driving. This will increase transportation-related pollution and traffic congestion, unless regulators take steps to make car travel less appealing. Research has previously suggested that automated vehicles could cause people to drive more than they currently do, leading to Zero to more congestion, energy consumption and pollution. Riding in a car as a passenger is much less stressful than driving, so people might be willing to sit through longer trips and battle more traffic if they can relax and do other things during the journey. The promise of a relaxed, comfortable commute to work could even make some people move farther away from their workplaces and accelerate suburban sprawl trends. People would also have the ability to send their cars on zero-occupancy trips or errands without passengers. For example, if you don't want to pay for parking downtown, at some point you may be able to send your car back home while you're at work and summon it when you need it. Convenient, but also twice the driving. This could be a big problem. The transportation sector is already Zero to the leading contributor to U.S. greenhouse gas emissions. States like California with aggressive plans to combat climate change have recognized that Zero to reducing the number of vehicles miles that people travel Zero to is a critical strategy. What if automated vehicle technology makes it harder to achieve these goals? While we and other researchers have Zero to predicted these outcomes through modeling, no one has been able to verify them because fully automated vehicles aren't commercially available yet. We found two innovative ways to use currently available technologies to study the real-world impacts of automated vehicles. In a study published in mid-2021, we surveyed 940 Zero to people who drive partially automated vehicles. Systems like Zero Tesla's Autopilot Zero to can assist with driving tasks and reduce the burden of driving, although to a lesser degree than fully automated vehicles will. We found that drivers who used Autopilot drove an average of Zero to nearly 5,000 more miles per year than those who didn't. In interviews with 36 drivers of partially automated vehicles, they generally said they were more willing to sit in traffic and took more long-distance trips, all because of the Zero to increased comfort and reduced stress Zero to provided by semi-automated systems. In a separate study conducted in late 2019 and early 2020, we simulated the function of a fully automated vehicle by providing 43 households in Sacramento, California, with a chauffeur service to take over the family driving duties and tracking how they used it. These households Zero to increased their vehicle miles traveled by 60% Zero to over their pre-chauffeur travel, and dramatically reduced their use of transit, bicycling and walking. More than half of the increase in vehicle travel involved sending chauffeurs on zero-occupancy trips without a household member in the car. These findings show that automated vehicles will encourage a lot more driving in the future, and that partially automated vehicles are doing so now. Is there any way to reap its benefits without making climate change, air quality, and congestion worse? Requiring future automated vehicles to use zero-emission technology Zero to, as California is doing, can be a big help. But until the U.S. develops a 0 to 100% carbon-free electricity system, even electric cars will produce some upstream emissions from power generation. and all car travel causes zero to other harmful impacts, such as water and air pollution from brake and tire wear, collisions with wildlife and traffic congestion. To prevent an explosion in driving and associated harms, regulators and communities need to send signals that driving isn't free. They could do this by putting a price on car travel, particularly on zero-occupancy trips. The main policies that have this effect today are zero to federal and state fuel taxes, which currently average around 49 cents per gallon for gasoline and 55 cents per gallon for diesel fuel. But the impact of fuel taxes on drivers' behavior will decline with the adoption and spread of electric vehicles. This means that the transportation sector will need to develop new funding mechanisms for ongoing costs like maintaining roads. In place of fuel taxes, state and federal governments could adopt user fees or charges for the number of vehicle miles that drivers travel. Correctly pricing the cost of private vehicle travel could encourage travelers to consider cheaper and more efficient modes, such as public transit, walking and bicycling. These fees could be adjusted based on location, for example, charging more to drive into dense city centers, or other factors such as time of day, traffic congestion levels, vehicle occupancy, and vehicle type. Modern communication technologies can enable such policies by tracking where and when cars are on the roads. Another option would be to promote shared fleets of automated vehicles rather than privately owned ones. We envision these as commercial companies, similar to Uber, Lyft, and other ride-sharing providers. Having a car available when needed could make it possible to forego car ownership and could serve travel demand much more efficiently by essentially acting as on-demand transit. These networks could also help riders reach fixed-route public transportation services that operate on main transportation corridors. All of these policies will be most effective if they are adopted now, before automated vehicles are widespread. A transportation future that is automated, electric, and shared could be environmentally sustainable, but in our view, it's unlikely to evolve that way on its own. This article by Giovanni Cercellele, Director, 3 Revolutions Future Mobility Program, University of California, and Scott Hardman, Professional Researcher, Plug-in Hybrid Electric Vehicle Research Center, University of California. 0 to 02 is republished from Zero to the Conversation 02 under a Creative Commons license. Read the 0 to original article.